welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing a bi-weekly astrology by element tarot reading. This one's like a day or so late here. So basically from the 3rd until the 16th. It's just sort of a time marker for when this video came out. So if you're hitting these energies at a later date, don't worry about it. So fire signs, we're looking at Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. That's going to be Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Venus. There's supposed to be some grand fire trine. I don't know if that's soon or if it's already happened. But we have also the effects of Mars in Aries, which is about to go retrograde in the home sign. While Mars has been in Aries already, I've been getting the energy of this grand ego showdown. We have Sagittarius South Node. We have Jupiter about to go direct in Capricorn. And what else is going on with the fire signs? Venus is in Leo. The Sun is in Virgo. I think that's about most of it. My lips are dry though. So I'm using my Yin-Yang Relationship Check-in spread because there's a lot of dualities in the energies lately. So I'm using the Thoth deck, I'm using the Cairo Marchetti Legacy deck here, and on each side there's a crossover, and that's the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to get the rest of the cards out of the way because they're too tall. And I've laid this spread out already just because it saves time on YouTube. If you were buying this reading or if you were paying to see my more dense readings on Patreon, I would lay out the cards on camera. So gonna get some chapstick here. Not really chapstick, it's Carmex. Non-paid advertisement. I should have stock in this company by now. These dualities here, this yin-yang spread, it could be you and another person of interest. It could be you and your higher self, you and your ego, you and your inner child. Mars and Venus, this job, that job, any of those kinds of things. Usually when I start, it's sort of the top side, I feel, is usually like for who's watching it. But if you're coming up over here, that's fine. I just have to start somewhere. Okay. Ugh, I got some in my mouth. I need some other fire decks, but I need more of like the other element decks too. So I feel like I'm always using the Legacy deck and the Thoth deck for fire stuff now, but oh well. It do what it do. It's better than using a water deck for fire. Plus I decided not to use any of the oracles, which limited my choices today, I guess. Although I just kind of picked what decided it wanted to come out anyway. Alright, so for this side, gotta jump out of my hand. 9 of Swords. Trying to escape from those nightmares. So right away, Mars in Gemini. So we have Aries energy and then Gemini, which is currently the North Node. It seems such a weird combination for a Dark Swords card. Now Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which also rules Virgo. So it could be sort of, I was going to say a backhanded, could be a sort of a reference to Virgo energy. So we're in the nightmare. This is a half moon card for me, right? It's like I'm in the darkness, but I can't make any sense of it. My dreams are scary because I don't know what they mean. Alright, so now we have the Ten of Coins here. Ten of Pentacles is Mercury in Virgo, which is basically telling me the same thing, but then I have 19 together, which is the Sun. I'm getting a little bit of calm before the storm energy as well, because it's a progression. It's like everything's a nightmare, but then all of a sudden, I'm manifesting like a mofo. But I said half moon and the moon's right here, but I didn't get to that yet. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups inverted. Now, the Page of Cups energy is fall with earth of water, so inverted, it's giving me a little bit more of like spring energy, and because it's water, it's like a fount, like a spring, like a mountain spring bursting out of a rock. And we would see that here, like all of a sudden there's a windfall, an eruption of resources, but it's coming in with this 1 or 11. I'm going to say it's 11 because 9, 10, 11. I don't know how to feel about this. Right? I have mixed feelings. First I'm sad, and now all of a sudden, what? I'm used to having everything taken away from me, and now it's coming in. Like, what? So I'll get to the moon in a minute. The crossover energy over here, we have in the challenge position the 9 of Wands. Here it says strength, which is interesting. The moon in Sagittarius in a challenge position. Now what's interesting is that there's a sun right here, but there's also a moon down here. So I'm getting this idea of daybreak, possibly an eclipse. But I see this horizon line as the sunrise, which would kind of be like spring as well. That's spring equinox. And we see Sagittarius. Now with spring you would usually think it's supposed to be the Mars energy and then also this idea, just this sort of background idea that Mars is about to go retrograde in Aries, but we also have this idea that Jupiter, Sagittarius, is about to retrograde. So we're sort of teetering on the balance of these fire shifts with this idea that there's a moon element as well. And we see that because we have a water here, and then the actual moon here. We have 9 and 9, 18, the moon here. So there's this flow in and out here between the fire and water. So what's actually happening really is I would think that I should see temperance here, or at least find a way to have a 14. So here's the Chariot. Alright, so 9 and 7, that's 16. That's a tower. Not quite there yet. Chariot inverted, so we're not moving. But the moon inverted tells me the sun. So it's giving me that. Now this happened in one of the other elements too. The Chariot inverted. So I have the moon turning to the sun here. And then I have the moon inverted, which tells me the sun here. And it does give me a little bit of that full moon that we just had, but also this idea of things like the light switch turning on and off. Is this car on? The ignition doesn't work. And I just said temperance, and then I got half of it here. Right? Something is like the tires aren't aligned. There's something that's missing, like half of what I need. Like 2 of my tires are bald. I can't seem to move forward. No, the moon card is ruled by Pisces, but then the moon energy that rules the Chariot is inverted. Pisces is the one that's retrograde right now, so it's almost like this backwards feedback loop. What's this one? 4, completion. So this is Venus in Aries. This is the 4 of Wands. So here we have a wheel, right? We're missing one of the wheels off the chariot, and here it is. Notice that this is 11. That goes into universal timing. It goes into the union of two opposites, which is what we have here, and it also goes into that twin flame number. Now Venus is staying upright. She was inverted for a while, but she's in Leo, the sun, right? The sun. But Mars is going retrograde in Aries, so that's kind of what I see here. But for some reason, I get the idea in these spreads where Venus keeps coming up inverted. It's like the Mars energy wants Venus to do the retrograde instead because they don't want to put in the effort. They're digging in their heels. They're like, I don't want to go into the moon energy. I don't want to go in the dark. And then we see this Ace of Wands inverted, right? This sort of like gut feeling of I don't want to do it. But this harnesses all 3 of the elements, so it could be any of them. But we have Leo, the sun, which just does whatever. But then if we're getting Jupiter going direct, it's currently retrograde, and then Mars is going retrograde. This ace in this position is sort of like a 2 out of 3 situation. It's like, oh, I just heard My Body Tells Me No, that song. My body tells me no. Yeah, I don't know the rest of the lyrics. But I also get this idea of the wheel turning, right? Because there's a stick, but there's also a wheel there. There's a stick here that's turning. The duality is shifting, right? It's like here on this. Oh, where's my charm? I need my charms. I need my charms. Ow, my foot. I'm like stabbing my bad toe with the foot of the chair. How much time have I got? I hope I don't have to make this into 2 sections, but if I have to, I will. Where's my fucking thing? You'd probably find these faster if I dump them all out on the table, and then I'll have to pick them up after. There it is. I found it. That worked. All else fails. Dump them all out on the table. Okay, so my charms over here. Alright. So this is what I see. This is supposed to be children, this charm. But they're on a seesaw. But there's a duality here. And it also gives me this reminder that the inner child is both feminine and masculine. There's a duality there. So the scales are tipping in the other direction. Instead of this sort of feminine energy being in the retrograde M-A-W, now it's the masculine energy that has to go down. And there's this idea that there's going to be this moon internal dreams, right? The subconscious. I'll just leave this here. The subconscious energy that's creating this shift. If we're talking about fire, we're talking about in the gut, right? My gut is out of order. The dragons are screaming. Even here, it's like I have a bad tummy ache, and now I can't go in the car without the Dramamine. With this moon card here, 18. Okay. Notice we have this duality here, these 2 towers. It's like, I'm going to send a signal, you're going to send a signal. We're going to bounce it back and forth between the towers. Well, it's your turn to have the signal now. Now you've got to broadcast. So what the masculine energy has to figure out how to redo the electric in his own tower, basically. Right? Your radio tower's coming down, and you're getting a new like Wi-Fi. You're getting upgraded to 5G, basically, the masculine energy, which is what this moon is doing. The moon energy here. So do I have a 14? I have 9 and 4, that's 13. If I add one of these, that gives me balance. 10 and 4, that's 14, that's the balance. The moon minus the 4, that's the 14, that's the temperance, that's the balance. 9 minus 2, 7 plus 7, that's 14, that's balance. I think that works pretty good. I mean, if I 9 and ace, that's 10. 9 and ace, that's 10. And then I have another 10. So there's a lot of rapid completions and shifts and a rebalancing. Right? If your electrical wiring is balanced, you're not going to short out the system. So what's happening is that there's this sort of like an upset stomach in the solar, like the solar area being out of balance with this sort of fire energy of the Mars in Aries. It's sort of like quick to anger, but now everything's a nightmare. I don't know about my feelings, but if I can get through that, I'm going to have some kind of abundance. But I'm trying to talk fast because I'm running out of time here. But the issue is that there's like a slow battery drain that needs to be fixed, or like a power surge that keeps blowing the circuit. Right? I'm depressed, or I attack, but I can't seem to move ahead. But the ultimate resolution here is this abundance, which also has a manifestation aspect to it in the material world, whereas all this other stuff is internal. It's like I'm going to do all this work and trying to balance my fire and water, and what comes out is this like slurry of, you know, like cold hard cash basically, but it's not necessarily. It's like a solution, right? There's a solution. It's the precipitate out of the solution. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. So if you want to get a personal reading, you can email me, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. I have a complete list of readings that I offer in the description box of my infomercial video, which is linked below this one. In the thumbnail looks like this sheet here. If you want to contribute and help keep my channel running, you can go paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo, or you can look me up on Patreon there, come hang out and see stuff like the more detailed individual horoscope sign readings and the other stuff that I've got there. And then I've also got the merch and prints and coloring books and the poetry book and the actual art in my catalog here that you can get directly from me. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, the discussion tab. Stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.